Hey there, this is Dr. David Hausmann with Stronghold Health here in Nashville, Tennessee, and today I wanted to go ahead and walk you through spinal decompression therapy. What the heck is it and why are we doing it? You've probably heard of chiropractors. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you have, talking about decompression or spinal decompression therapy. Why do we even do it? In order to understand that, we have to really just look at what do chiropractors do generally overall, and that is we help people with spinal issues. And one of the #1 spinal issues that people deal with is disc compression. So let's go ahead and look at a spine real quick. A little anatomy 101. This is looking at the full spine from the side view. So if you're looking from the left shoulder kind of through. The purple area is the neck, blue area is the mid-back, green area down here is the low back. And ideally there's a structure that our spine should have in order for it to be really, really healthy. And #1, what we're looking for is curves. So we actually want this nice, beautiful, facing towards the front, that direction, curve in our neck. And then a reverse curve in our low back, and then another forward curve down here in the low back. When we have the right curves in the spine, gravity, our best friend, is compressing down. And this is actually a very, very strong structure, right? So we're able to displace weight equally through all of the bones in our neck. And that means the shock absorbers in between those bones end up not having to take on excessive weight force. So hopefully that makes sense. You want to think about it as all of the joints in our spine are sharing an equal weight burden, right? So what ends up happening is we text, right? And we drive and we sleep like a pretzel and we do all the things that we do in our daily life, and then gravity never takes a day off, and slowly over time we start losing the proper structure. And so this is a slow onset. As we start losing the proper structure, what ends up happening is weight compressing down through the spine. One of those joints ends up taking on more weight load than the ones above and below it. And inevitably it weakens over time. So inside that joint in the middle part of the neck where it's now getting stressed and burdened, we end up having this issue take place where the disc itself, which is red here, starts getting smushed and starts getting compressed. And as it starts getting smushed and compressed, eventually it has a weak spot on the back where the disc bulges outward and it balloons and starts pinching on the nerve. That's when you get the ouchie, that's when you get the pain. So that's what is often referred to as like a herniated disc or a bulging disc. And so spinal decompression therapy is the #1 treatment option that we have for being able to take that compression and create a negative vacuum or separation and pull the bones apart. So instead of compress, what's the opposite of compress? Decompress. And so spinal decompression is fancy table, multiple different types of tables that we have for that, where there's a harness that goes around the waist, a strap that goes around the chest, and you're laying flat on your back, and the table is designed to separate, create separation or displacement in order to decompress that disc. So when we set you up on a spinal decompression table, you're laying on your back and we create the separation, effectively what we're doing is we're creating a vacuum or negative pressure. And a good way to think about this is the disc that's bulging outward. When we create the negative pressure, it's almost like a suction mechanism where it like sucks the disc back to the center and off of the nerve. And a good analogy on that is like if you're taking toothpaste and you go to squirt it on your toothbrush in the morning, that last little bit after you squirt it on the toothbrush, when you let go of the toothpaste tube, it sucks back into the tube. So same type of thing there, negative pressure. When we set up the spinal decompression and we start creating that separation and that negative pressure is there, it sucks the disc back in off of that nerve. Often we need to do spinal decompression therapy for a series of weeks, probably about 2 treatments a week for anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the severity of the case. When you couple that with the chiropractic adjustments, the adjustments and the realignment, and then some muscle rehab, we're able to start keeping pressure off of that stressed area in the spine where the disc compression is. Because remember, the disc compression is because of poor structure. So as we start rehabbing the structure from that straight compressed to more of the curve in the spine, we're taking pressure off of the disc, and as we continue decompressing and pulling the disc back off of the disc bulge back off of the nerve, then between the two of those, we're able to get it to finally start to stay and stabilize. So it could take anywhere, for most cases, from 4 weeks up to about 8, maximum 12 weeks if it's a really, really severe case. But you're looking at from 1 to 3 months worth of work, as opposed to probably having to drop 1 to 3 months worth of laying in a bed to recover from a spinal surgery and then maybe never even fixing the problem. In fact, in a study where they discovered that they could have been prevented because they weren't actual spinal surgery issues. The person just ended up getting scheduled for spinal surgery because that's the first place they went with a low back problem that was a herniated disc. They ended up going to an orthopedic surgeon. Of course, to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so they check in, go to an orthopedic surgeon. The orthopedic surgeon's solution for a problem that's a spinal issue is spinal surgery, right? And so most often those things can be avoided, and the success rate for spinal disc herniation or disc compression is extremely high with conservative approach like chiropractic care and spinal decompression. I know that was a lot, but at the end of the day, if you boil it down and make it really simple, spinal decompression therapy is the #1 treatment to relieve pressure off of a spinal disc. Because with a spinal disc, when it's compressed, traditional chiropractic care with the manual adjustments is only so helpful because we're able to realign a joint, but we aren't able to effectively create separation and pull the joint apart. So when you pair the spinal decompression therapy with manual chiropractic adjustments, the success rate for being able to recover from a herniated or a compressed disc is extremely high. Please like and share this video so that we can help you make the rest of your days the best of your days.